special guest tonight. Overall, great guy, man. Great energy. Just a super humble dude. So you done seen him in Wu-Tang. You done seen him in Black Lightning.
Yes.
Give it up for my guy Jason Loud, man.
Yes. Hey, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate
Yes, sir.
man. Yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate you blessing us the business.
It's always a blessing.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
You already know. So what's the business, bro?
Well, man. I love that question because it takes me into a couple of different places, right? So I am a business. I think Jay-Z said it best. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. You know what I'm saying? So I am a business. But I kind of compare it to like I am the business that has been blessed to create businesses through from what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think a good analogy would be like a artist, like the music. I'm the music, right? Or I'm the composer, and that's the composer's job is to make music. So I've been blessed to be able to compose or to make different songs.
That shit, man. Listen, man. Listen. First question, man. This man already giving it to y'all, so y'all already know how the fuck this finna go.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, bro?
Yes, sir.
So with that, bro, so I gotta ask you. So tell me about like your upbringing, bro, and like how did your upbringing influence you to become an actor, right? Because like let's keep it real, right? When we grow up, in a lot of black communities,
Yes.
a lot of people looking up to the dope boy. A lot of people looking up to the football star, the rappers. You feel me? So
Yeah.
how did your upbringing, bro? Like how did that influence you being an actor at all? You feel me?
I think it's so.
And start from the beginning too. Like, where you grew up and then tell.
Yeah, so I'm a Atlanta native. I'm born and raised in College Park, you know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? So I'm an AT alien, I'm a native. So just growing up in College Park, man, my parents were blessed, man, because I had my mom and dad living in a pretty, middle class like environment or whatever. Just hanging around in the neighborhood, man, where all the parents, they looked out for everybody's child, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not just their child, they looked out for everybody. So if Miss Carmichael knew that, you know what I'm saying, if I got in trouble with Miss Carmichael,
right,
she had the right to go ahead and put her hands on me, you know what I'm saying?
She gonna get me.
She gonna get me. You know, she said, hey, I'm gonna tell your mama. And I'm like,
straight up.
You already gave it to me though.
Sometimes.
So yeah, man. So that's how pretty much that's the environment I was raised in. And then right around like I played basketball, man. I grew up, you know what I'm saying, with my dad. He got us into sports, you know what I'm saying. So me and my younger brother, you know what I'm saying. He's a little bit young. He's 6 years younger than me. But we played sports. My dad, if he wasn't the coach of the team, he was definitely like one of the assistant coaches, one of the advisors or whatever. So
hands on.
Yeah, hands on, man. So I'm playing basketball, then I'm gonna go to the NBA or whatever.
Yeah.
And I played my freshman year, played my sophomore year, then got cut my junior year because he got a new coach, and he said he was gonna change some things up. So that kind of like threw me for a loop a little bit. But I've been an avid like listener to rap music. Like I've been listening to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like listening, saying, oh man. And then one day I was like, oh, I can do that. So I started writing. And in the neighborhood, I was like, all right, I'm gonna write for you. So I started writing for my friends, you know what I'm saying? I became a ghostwriter. And then we had our own little rap group. And but I was playing basketball and thought that was gonna be it. When I got cut, I was like, I'm gonna focus on this music thing. So we started doing it. Yo, we were going at it, man. We were performing for like Michael Bivins, and we would do Sharon Showcase. We would do do different, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then one day in high school, man, I ran into one of my good friends, man, to this day, Kelly Love Jones.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, we was in the cypher, and I was like, hey, you rap, we need a girl in our group. Hey, you want to be in our group? And she was like, yeah. And so we put her in the group, and then we performed in the high school, our first talent show at the high school, because they didn't really knew I was a rapper in high school. He played Jason playing basketball. He played basketball. So then we did a little talent show, and we won that. And then like that next 3 months after that, me and her graduated. We went to Georgia Southern University.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin, he was already there, but he was laying the foundation, so he was battling. He was killing people with ciphers and stuff. So when we got there, he was kind of like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna kill all these ciphers. So we started going around rapping with these people.
That's what y'all
we was doing.
So y'all see this man, right? So he started off hooping, right?
Yeah.
Started off hooping,
Right.
transitioned to the music shit.
Right.
What I want to know, bro, because you said you was going hard at the music, right?
Yeah.
Like what I want to, how when you was going hard with the music, right? How did you make the transition to the act? Or was was it already a thing? Like was that already in your mind? Or did that come later?
No.
Or how did
It is so cool because it's like a part of my origin story. You know what I'm saying? Like so the music, we were doing that in college, and then we left college and came back to Atlanta because one of the dudes was like, man, we got a good opportunity in Atlanta. So we came back. I graduated with I didn't know what I was gonna do with my degree or whatever. So I was like, let me start teaching. So I started teaching.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then we were doing the music. I would teach in the daytime and then go do the music at night. And so we just kept grinding. And eventually, people started getting married and started having, you know what I'm saying? I knew because actually everybody in the group, we had our real names. So Quam Scott, Mon Jones, B Price, J Loud. My first name Jason, last name Loud, so it was J Loud. So they were like, oh, J Loud, he the hype nigga.
Yeah.
So he was like.
So just off your energy off stage, he was like, bro, you should go to this audition. Like how you feel like when because you said you had acting was never on your radar up until that point, right? So like what was the feeling or what was going through your mind when he recommended that you do an audition? Like
I was like, cause he said you mentioned before that maybe you could get into acting, and I was like, I don't remember that. He was like, nigga, when we were smoking, remember you mentioned? I was like, oh, we were smoking. I forgot about that. He was like, all right, so you should go. So I was thinking like, why not? I mean, I'm not doing nothing else. I was leaving soccer practice, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, let me just go to this audition. So I got there. The lady was like, hey, okay, do you have a headshot? And I was like, no. She was like, all right, well, here's the size. And I was like, she was like, oh, you green. And I was like, yeah, whatever that means. She was like, you never acted before. I was like, no, I never acted before. She was like, all right, just look over these, study these lines, and then when we call you in, you can come on in and read. And I was like, all right, cool. So I was reading. I was like, oh, damn.
like what's the shit long? That's the thing. Bring us into that.
Okay, so it was for these, they call them short plays.
Okay.
So the script, or they didn't even give the, they call them sides. So in acting, what they give you is the sides, and that's a part of the script, right? So they gave me the sides, and it wasn't long at all. But as I was reading it, I was like, hold on, this shit feel kind of real. So I was like, all right, okay, that's what I'm playing. I'm gonna be here. And so when I walked into the room, they called me in. I was like, all right. So they was like, okay, here's the person who wrote it, here's the writer, and you're gonna read with her. And I was like, all right, cool. So we started reading, and I was like, man, the way we was just flowing with each other, I was like, yo, this real right here. This is real. And I just got caught up in it. And then they were like, okay, thank you. And then they were like, so the next lady, she was like, hey, I got some sides too. Do you mind reading mine? And I was like, yeah. So I read hers. So
at first, so not to cut you off, I'm just trying to capture every moment. So what was the feeling like when the first time of you real,
It
right?
became real.
Like you just.
I was like, yo, these words, man, this some powerful stuff right here, what she's saying. And then once we started going back and forth, reading with each other, I was like, man.
So you was fucked up from the first time you read, like you knew, like it was something there, like
it was
this,
something.
this shit.
This is something. It's something else. It's something else here. So I did that. Then the next person was like, "Can you read mine?" And I was like, "I heard." And I was like, "Yo." Next person was like, "Hey, I got one too."
Did this all the same day?
Same day, and the same moment.
It's just like
in the same moment. Yeah. So she said, "Can you do a Jamaican accent?" And I was like, "As a matter of fact, I can, because my homeboy in the rap group, he's from Jamaica." See.
Listen, man. Everything plays a role. Like everything has its position, bro. Like literally, he got the accent from his fucking homeboy that was in the rap group. You know, man. Like,
So I do that one, and then everybody's like, "Okay, thank you so much." So I leave, I go home, whatever, and then the director of the whole program, she called me that night. She was like, "Yes, Jason Lauer," and I said, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "Yes, so my name is Shirley Holmes, and I'm the chair of the department for theater, and you had an audition tonight, and everybody was really happy. They really liked what you did.
wow.
And you got cast in all of them."
Damn.
But she said, "Because you never acted before, you can only choose two."
Damn.
She said, "That ain't unfair for them and for you."
So you got cast in all.
It was like 5 of them.
So you literally get casted for what, 5?
5 short.
5 shorts in your first time racing, bro. So you was hooked right from that moment. That's what it was.
And I tell people that's how acting found me, because I wasn't looking for acting. That shit found me. And once it found me, I was like, "This it right here.
Yeah.
This it." Like,
that's powerful, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's powerful.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
So that's a good transition, right? So, boom, you go into the reading.
Yes.
That to the audition that your homeboy from the rap group that you was in suggested for you, just off your energy and just seeing the raw talent.
Basically.
So boom, you do your first reading, boom, you fucked up about it, you get casted for everything. So, and you said you felt that like it was something there, right?
Yeah.
So, like a lot of times, right, we get caught up in chasing money, right? Instead of like chasing what's authentically us, right? So you felt that in your soul, right? So, you know, for everybody who don't know, like me and this guy, like we had like, you know, super deep conversations, you know what I'm saying, on spirituality, you know what I'm saying, just about, you know, things of the world, not of the world, you know. So what I want to know, bro, is so how does your spirituality like play a role into your acting, bro? Like how does it play a part in your acting?
Man, that's a great question, bro. Like, cause essentially, you know, as I began to really study the craft, it became like it's become a very spiritual process now. Like, I definitely know that there's something greater than me when I'm creating these characters. Something, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that's within me, but like also like bigger than I can ever even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I tell people, I want to make sure that I'm intentional with my words or whatever. So I really believe that, like, leading up to that moment where I came to the audition, I had already been like, I was being divinely placed in certain situations to show me or to help inform that moment right there. And now those inform my characters. Like, I know Spirit was definitely with me when I was in school. I was teaching, and they said, they were like, "Hey, can you tell the kids a story?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a rapper, so I'm just gonna freestyle." So I said, y'all say a word about, y'all say any animal, and I'll make up a story about any animal. They were like, "A pig." I said, "Okay, one day, it was a long time ago, it was a pig, but this pig, his best friend was a rat and a pig." I'm freestyle making a story. So they're like, what's your name? I said, my name is Babatunde.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The freestyle storyteller. So then I would go to class and I would put my hair up and I would pin that job and I'd be like, oh, Babatunde. And then I'd leave.
So you literally going in the character.
Going in the character then with the kids. So I was
So you was already doing that shit. I didn't even consciously like being aware of that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard as fuck.
Like,
Bro. That's hard. That's hard.
And so that kind of informed the of course the audition, and now I know that like when I know a spirit, because once again I tell people, hey, you know what, I don't want to be a dream chaser, I want to be a dream creator.
Hey man, wait, hold on. Wait. Listen, man. My folks over here dropping big boy jewels, man. Y'all folks gotta pay attention, man. Exclusive shit right here, man. Say that shit again, bro.
Like I would rather, instead of being a dream chaser, I'm a dream creator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
So that's what I'm like. Yo, we create our own world.
Right.
Our own reality.
Listen, man. Speak on that shit.
Yeah, bro.
Man, important, man. People get so caught up in just bullshit and shit that just don't matter. Other people business, what they ain't doing, what somebody listen, man. I gotta stop that shit, man. Listen. Create your own environment, your own world, bro. Like, this shit is here to serve you, bro. Like, literally, everything, every person that you run into, bro, this shit is to serve you, bro. What the fuck you gonna do with it, bro? What you gonna do with it?
That's it. What you gonna
Straight
do?
up, man.
Yeah, man. So that's what it is. And now, it's like, so now we can, once you create them, now we can catch them. So that's why they have the Indians have those dream catchers. Now you created it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why.
That's what we doing. Yes, sir. Listen, man. Talk that shit, man. Listen. Talk that shit, bro. Listen, man. Big boy exclusive for y'all tonight, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So listen, bro.
Yeah.
So with that being said, bro, is it any type of process that you go through when like just preparing for a character or a certain role? Like, is it a certain ritual that you have, or like just a process?
So as I began to delve deeper into the craft, I started studying, and I said, let me just go to the people who I feel like these are the most prominent resources that I could find at the time. So I started studying with Greg Allen Williams, with Kristen Shaw. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying with people who've been in the game for a minute.
Right.
And Victor Love, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, we just study from them. And so I was able to start building my actor's toolkit. So now I have a toolkit where I'm like, okay, this Meisner technique is one of the techniques that we as actors, you know.
What is it?
It's called Meisner. Sanford Meisner.
Okay.
He was one of the, I guess, people who helped create different concepts for acting. And his concept, his technique is what people kind of like, they relate to that one. Another one, her name is Ivana Chubbuck. So she has a technique where it's called the power of the actor. And so, you know, she takes you through these 12 steps of creating your character. And so that's one of the techniques that really I was like, oh, I really like rock with this one right here. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then once I kind of like got that, it was like, oh wait, I'm gonna come up with my own technique.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like now my process is pretty much like a common an amalgamation of all of those, but then with my own like spin on it. Like, cause like I loved it when I first, so preparing for a role was like you first get the script. If you book, of course, if you booked it, they say if you book the role, then they're gonna give you the script. But for an audition, I think it's a very similar process. So I get the sides and I read them out loud. And I read them out loud again before I try to put anything on it. I just read them out loud to see what it sounds like, and then that's when I start going into like the script analysis. Like what's happening in the beginning. What's happening before the scene starts? Because as an actor, we have to remember that we're not just saying words. We're living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
Talk that shit, man. Talk that shit.
Yeah. So it's like we're not just coming into it like, okay, these are the lines. You got a life. Your character, you know what I'm saying?
You literally become you're that person.
That person.
Like, you're not reading this shit, like,
you're that person, you know what I'm saying? And then I've also recognized that, yeah, you can, because we're not robots, I'm gonna bring a part of me into because that's what Denzel does. Everybody when you see like, I think that's a part of Denzel right there.
Right.
He brings a part of him to every character, but he fleshes it out like, okay, but you know who this character is.
So
yeah.
So that brings me to my next question, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
And I say mine too. I respect the actors, man.
Yeah.
Bro, who is your favorite? I don't know. I don't want to say favorite. So look, I'm gonna say this. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna say this, right?
I'm like,
so look, I ain't gonna ask you that, right?
okay.
So I'm gonna say, if you had 2 hours to sit down and chop it up with any actor, who would it be and why?
You see, I was trying to flip it on you. I was like, you said 2 actors, or you said 2
hours? 2 hours, 1 actor, just to get whatever game that you want to get from them.
Dang, bro. That's a hard question. That's such a hard question. Because it's like so many different, everybody brings a different element to the craft, right?
Yeah, right.
So, if I had to choose and it boiled down to it, and then I had a gun to my head and they're like, you gotta choose only 1, 2 hours, I'd be like, you know what? Let me sit down with Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's such an amazing character actor. He creates these memorable characters that you never forget. Like the gangs, you know what I'm saying? Gangs in New York, played the Butcher. Just what he was doing with that character, man, it was just kind of like, it was a masterclass because of the idiosyncrasies he had. You know what I'm saying?
Explain away. You gotta break this down. I ain't no actor, so you gotta break like that. Break it to the world.
So everybody has these little tics about themselves. Sometimes it's subconscious, and some of them are, you know what I'm saying, conscious. Yeah. And so that's another part of our craft, as a part of our job as actors, is to watch people. And so we can be like, oh man, this person kind of does that every time after everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I can bring that to a character.
Yeah.
And that's the idiosyncrasies that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, when I talk, and it's like that, you know what I'm saying? Or like somebody might, you know what I'm saying, they might just have a little tick, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay, well, why that person, okay, so I'm making a whole story for why they have that. But yet Daniel Day-Lewis, he had a particular tick where he would use that knife with the Butcher. So and just his process, like he is what they call a method actor. So he becomes the character to the point to where when he walks on set, you have to address him as Mr. Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln, we're going to take you over here now. Mr. Lincoln, when he played Abraham Lincoln, they had to, that's who he was. Abraham Lincoln. So, and he's just real, like, it's a craft. It's a craft. And just there's a dope documentary out right now called Val on Prime. It's about Val Kilmer. And man, I didn't know that he trained in Juilliard, but he's a method actor. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a great documentary, and it kind of gives you a peek into what we do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis, man. It would have to be him. And I would ask him about There Will Be Blood. like asking him all those questions, the essential questions. Like, you know,
So me, like, just to piggyback off that a little bit, right? So I really, so two favorite. Well, I ain't let him pick two, so I'm gonna say one, right? So my guy, that boy Forrest, man. That boy Forrest Whitaker, man. Like,
yeah, you're right,
bro. Like, when you see that motherfucker, like, bro, I believe that shit every time. Like, I don't give a fuck what he played, who he played, like you said, that motherfucker tap in, bro. He be like locked in that shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
What that shit was, the last King of Scotland?
Scotland, when you
That shit, bro. That shit was fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, that's my guy.
If I had another choice,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Next question, bro. I want to ask you, what role that you've been in that's impacted your acting career the most, and why?
Wow. Once again, it's like I take every like role with the care that I would want to, I would want someone to give like to a child, or that I would give to a child. So I think each role has its particular like impact or its particular like challenge. You know what I'm saying? So all of them have like given me the opportunity to like go to different places, right? I think one of the most challenging roles that I had to do, it was recently. It's a stage play and it's called Go, and it's no dialogue, so there's no words. So everything is like physical. So I had to literally act out everything that I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that in itself is powerful as fuck, right? I've never seen, I guess, a play or just anything, when it comes to acting that had just no words, period, bro. Like, damn, so, all right, my man, so go ahead.
So I think for me, the biggest challenge was that, because I had to feel everything. Everything was felt, right? And so in the play, it deals with like abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, but more so like what was highlighted as the physical abuse. So I had to like internalize being abused. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like take on some of the method actors, like I take on some of that method acting or whatever. So like when I'm off the stage, I would like be beating myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just putting myself under some like really physical like pain.
Like really, like so physically, like when as you coming off stage, like to stay in that role, to stay in that mindset, like you physically hitting yourself.
Yeah, when I'm off the stage, when they don't see me, when the people don't see me, I'm like punching myself in the stomach, I'm sitting there gagging and shit, you know what I'm saying, choking myself, you know what I'm saying, because I had to internalize that abuse, that physical abuse that my character would experience.
Yo, that's hard as fuck, bro. Like, it sounds wild, but like I get it though, bro. Like I get it, and that really shows like your dedication to this shit, bro, and like your love for that shit, bro. Like that's hard, man.
Yeah, bro. That took me to another place. I'm not gonna even lie, to where afterwards I had to do that they call it the shedding work. So I had to shed this character because I had been in it so long. We did like in rehearsal. We ran for 2 weeks. So I had to shed that character. You know what I'm saying? Like wash that shit off.
That's powerful as fuck, bro. Because like I hear right, and I can't remember if it was my wife I was talking about this with, or maybe it was me and you, bro.
Yeah.
But just speaking on what was the movie, man? The Black Panthers, Fred Hampton?
Fred Hampton, yeah. Black Judas and the Black Messiah.
Boom. They were saying that your boy got so wrapped up into like the kid. he got so wrapped up into being that person that like it fucked him up. Like they said he had to go through like counseling, like all types of shit. Like, and that's wild. But it's also like a beauty to the madness though, right? Because the fact that you allow yourself, not saying that everybody should do this shit. Not saying that. But the fact that you immerse immerse yourself so deep into your passion of this, you feel me? Like that shit speaks volumes in itself, bro.
And that's not I feel like I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet because like Denzel, man, he separated from his family. He moved away from his family while he was doing Malcolm X. He couldn't be with them because he was like, I'm about to be Malcolm X. I'm gonna ask the spirit of Malcolm X to come into my vessel so that I can do this.
How that boy Denzel, man, fucking goat, man.
Yeah, the goat.
Denzel, man, straight up, bro.
Damn. Yeah, man. So
man.
Woo.
So
it was actually the end of the play had one word.
One word.
That was it.
How long was this shit though?
The play was an hour and 30 minutes.
Bro, wait. So you literally just like physically acting this shit out, bro. No words, no type of dialogue, just bro, that shit is hard, bro. Like challenging and just shit is hard, bro. Like that's dope as fuck, bro. Like
I was definitely it definitely showed me I have the capacity to do any role. It don't matter what the role is. Yeah.
For sure. So bro, so was there any role that you ever really wanted and you did? Did it ever happen?
In the beginning of my life, when I first started like really auditioning and stuff, like I'd be like thinking about like, damn, I fucked that audition up. I could have done this, or I should have done that. Oh man, I wish I. But like that wasn't healthy. So like.
But was it one particular one that like, damn, like I really wanted this shit. Like I really like this shit. I felt was for me, and I could. Like, did you experience it?
I haven't experienced that.
Okay.
Because like I said, by the time as I began to mature as an actor, I stopped becoming attached. So I was like, if that's not for me, then it's not for me.
What's meant for nobody can't take it.
Nobody can take that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So now it's like, alright.
Straight up, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I see my homeboy, they be like, yo, I got that role, and I was like, yeah, that shit was for you.
Yeah, right.
Because it was for you. We all auditioned. We all went in for it, but that shit was for you.
That was literally for you.
And like, and like literally, like this nigga love video games.
Yeah.
He fucking loves Al Green.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, the character was it.
And y'all, listen to what he's saying, right? You gotta apply this shit to life, bro. Like literally, like it be so many months, especially with this social media shit, man. Motherfucker look at somebody else and oh damn, I'm supposed to be living that life, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to have this, bro. Like that shit ain't for you right now, bro. It might be for you later on. You know what I'm saying? So in the near future, it might be 10 years from now, bro.
Right.
Wherever you're at right now, bro, that's where you're supposed to be at, bro. For sure. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. It's what's meant for you. You heard it from this man here, man. Nobody can take this shit from you, bro.
Nobody.
Wait your fucking turn.
That's it.
That's all, bro.
That's it, bro.
That's all. So, only other thing I got for you, bro.
Yes,
What's next for Jason Louder, man?
Wow.
Oh, what's next, bro?
Man, I've been blessed to be able to dabble into different like aspects of the industry, where
you also got acting classes, right?
Yeah. So I teach at an acting studio.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying, I'm offering my talents and my services in that space of teaching.
How can people like find out about that? Like, how can they be down with that?
So the place that I do where I'm doing some coaching is AGI, and you can look up them at AGI entertainment.com. And then I just came on board with Erica Arvo Studios, AWS.com. So I'm also, work teaching with them. But then I want to create my own curriculum as well, so that I can teach like I said, my technique.
Right.
And my technique is to show other actors that you got to come up with your own technique. That's my technique, is to teach them that they got to come up with their own technique. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of what's next. And I've been doing some executive producing, which is really dope. And I want to return or begin to start writing again, because I realized as I was rapping, I'm writing all these lyrics.
Right.
I was
reading stories right here.
So I'm like, damn, I can't write. But I used to be, no, I'm not a writer. I can't write. Actually, I can't write.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of what's next as well. Because,
So, wait. I just want to piggyback off that, right? So, two major things I just got from that, right? From the jewels he just dropped, right? So, he literally want to go into business teaching other people to find their own technique, bro. So what that mean, like for you actors out there, don't go in that bitch trying to be Denzel, you feel me? You can't go in there trying to be Tyrese, you can't be Forrest, bro.
Nope.
You have to be you, whoever that may be, bro. Play the role, like you said, incorporate you into them, but you gotta do it for you, bro.
Yeah.
And the next thing, you said, what did you say, bro? You said something I want to piggyback off of, man. You said,
when I was writing as an MC, I was writing, so I'm like, boom, I know how to write.
So that's the thing. So that's the next thing. So for the artists out there, right? Like, bro, like don't limit yourself and put yourself in a box, bro. Like, this man literally acting found him because he was doing something that he loved, which was writing music, which was performing. You feel me? And it found him. So expand your horizon, bro. Like, just because you're doing this. This shit can open up doors for this, for that. You feel me? So don't limit yourself, bro. Like, spread your wings, bro. Like, it's fucking 2021, bro. Like, do all that shit, bro. So I ain't even cut you off.
That's great.
To build off that, bro.
That's great. I love that. And then for me, that's what kind of like moves me forward. It's like seeing other people as they continue to create and to continue to grow.
So Jason, bro, like, tell all the folks where they can find you at.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? How they can contact, how they can get in touch with you.
When I'm on social media, you can catch me on Instagram at jason.louder. On Facebook, when I'm on Facebook, you can catch me at just Jason_Louder. And just Jason Louder on Facebook. So let me correct that. So on Instagram is Jason.Louder. On Facebook is just Jason Louder. And then on Twitter is Jason_Louder. So that's where I am. You can also, y'all tune in, go check out that Black Lightning on Netflix. Go check out that movie. You know what I'm saying? Hulu. And also coming on Netflix, I'm in a movie with John Boyega, Jamie Foxx, and Tiana Paris.
Alright, man. Alright, straight up, man. Exclusive shit there, man.
So it's called They Clone Tyrone, so be on the lookout for that.
What is that, bro?
They Clone Tyrone.
Alright, so y'all go fuck with that, man. They Clone Tyrone, man.
And then on YouTube, there's a series called Pretty for a Big Girl.
Okay.
Which is really a creative by my homegirl Courtney, man. She got a beautiful vision. All plus size women are the lead. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up, man. All plus size women, man. Show love to y'all, man.
Great love. So that's what's next, man. I'm just doing a lot of shadow work, kind of going back into the lab and just figuring some things out about what I like and what I want out of this industry. Because like you gotta come in and like, what do I want to give to the industry? And so therefore, if I'm coming from a place of servitude,